Supporting small businesses isn't just about shopping. It's about knowing where to turn when you need help from an expert. That's why in Season 2 of Small Business Big Dreams, host Eric Boll is bringing you the ultimate guide to the best local businesses. Whether you need a gift, a tune-up, a tax expert, or a contractor who actually shows up on time. From storefronts to service pros, Eric is making it easier than ever to shop local and support the businesses that keep your community thriving. Let's dive in and hear their stories.
All right, well, welcome back to another episode of Small Business Big Dreams. I'm your host, Eric Boll, and I am shocked it took to Season 2, but I'm sitting down with a really good friend of mine, and I'm going to blame him and his scheduling calendar. But I have Eric Falberg, so you're going to hear a lot of Eric today. Owner, founder of 28 Mile Distilling and about 100 other things we'll get through. Welcome, Eric. Thanks for sitting down with us today.
Well, thank you, Eric. And it should always be Eric from now on. It should be the Eric podcast.
Dude, are you going to be a co-host with me now?
Sure, whenever. We'll invite other Erics.
And we'll just record an episode like once a quarter with your calendar. All right. I was going to try to give like a whole spiel on your background. I'm not even going to begin. Can you just who you are and what you've done and what you're doing and then how you got into 28 Mile?
Who I am?
Yeah,
I mean, going back to my childhood.
Yeah,
born in New Rochelle, New York.
Well, there's actually some history to that too. In 28 Mile, I mean, the pizza. I mean,
that is true. Yeah. So I was born in New York. My brother and I have always been in business together. The first business we started was actually a coatings business.
A what?
Coatings.
What?
Industrial coatings.
Oh, I didn't know this one. Go for it. So coatings.
So we had water-based inorganic zinc silica coating that specialized as a pre-construction primer that we literally took over the shipping business with it. So if you went to any shipyard, you would see this gray product that was on all the steel while they were building the ships. So we literally coated the steel before they did the ships, and you're able to weld through our product. It was zero volatile organic compounds. It was water-based, and it was a zinc silicate. It was a cool thing. So we're in all the shipyards, Jeff Boat, Halter Marine. I went all over the place, and then we ended up selling to a company called Valspar.
Oh, no big deal.
Yeah, just smaller company.
If you've ever heard of them, multi-billion-dollar international company.
Yeah, they invented varnish.
Is that what got them started?
Spar varnish.
Oh, God, I would have never known that. See, you learn something new every day. So have you always had this entrepreneur aspect in you? Because I didn't even know that business, and I know a couple others that you've even done.
Yeah, my brother and I have always, like I said, we've always been in business together, and it works well because he's more of the business savvy, financial, really intelligent on that side. I'm more like operations, down and dirty. Let's do some shit stuff.
Yeah, you like getting in the trenches. I know it. So you were born and raised in New York. How did you get out to Illinois?
I like to blame my sister-in-law on that. It's her fault.
Okay.
I did go to Wisconsin, right? And I lived in Chicago for a little bit, but I went back to New York and then London, and et cetera, et cetera. But my wife and I were living in Vermont. We had a bed and breakfast. And
of course.
She went out to serve coffee, right? A typical morning. Door swung open to go out. Door swung back when she came in, put the coffee down. She says, "I'm done." I said, "What? Coffee?" She says, "No, this business. I want out." So we sold the inn, and literally in like 5 minutes, it was because we had just put a house back there. It was perfect for someone that wanted a new
live
business.
On the property and all that.
It was just a mile south of Mount Snow in Vermont. It's gorgeous up there. Yeah. We do miss it. We miss that area, but the business, no, we don't miss that. But my brother's like, "Hey, we'll go back into business, but go out to Chicago because Steffi wants back in Chicago." So I told Karen, "Let's go out to Chicago." She's like, "Okay," and she's still mad about it.
At least on the cold days.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think on all days.
All days.
Yeah,
all right. So if it was Karen's choice, where would she live?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she would. At least she still has very close friends there. I don't think she would want to live in New York, but she want to be close to them. So
close enough where, very cool. So fast forward, we are now So 28 Mile, Highwood, Illinois, distilling. How did this get started?
Well, I became an alderman in Highwood back in 2009. Great time to become an alderman, right? Right after the crash and cities are dying. We had no money, and but
no one wanted the jobs.
Crazy idea. Let's throw parties now. So we decided to do events because to bring back people back into the community. And I got a lot of people pissed off at me for doing that. But hey, it's worked out okay.
It worked out great.
Right? But during one of the festivals that we had started, Taco Fest, was the first year. And I was with the guy, Mac Rife, and we become pretty close. We became close during Pumpkin Fest. And it started pouring like down. Typical one of my events. Typical just
every
downpour.
One of them.
Yeah, just like this completely 5 inches of rain in like no time. And we were standing there talking to Kyle, who had at that time owned the Nightingale.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about everyone in Highwood moonshines or makes wine and all that stuff. I'm like, you gotta have some peach moonshine I made. I'm like, that sounds revolting.
In the bathtub in the basement of my bar.
Yeah, right. And that time I just drank vodka at that time. I know, right? I know. I say that to myself. My older self says to young self, "You were stupid." Drinking that stuff. Anyway,
we still say that about you, but that's a different.
Thank you. Yes, that's true. Well, my brother does sometimes. Well, we decided that day, let's buy a still, and we're going to make our own stuff. We're going to make some vodka. We'll take down Tito's, right? So we started. We literally bought a still that day.
Wow!
And started distilling a little one. Yeah. Started making some stuff, and Matt, who was a beer guy, knew how to make beer. And so we took the beer mash that he wanted to make and made it into vodka, and we thought it was great. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
multigrain vodka. Realizing that I finally convinced my brother to do this, and he's still questioning why. But when we did it, it was the vodka was phenomenal until we ramped up. That was a problem.
Scaling. Every business scaling. Yeah.
Well, the flavor tastes like ass. I mean, come on! I'm serving vodka, and it's supposed to be clean and like nothing. I
remember that early vodka.
Yeah, it's like it was like drinking funky whiskey. And I didn't know. I had to pretend like it was great. Just
of course
support your shit out there. But the nice thing is, that's pretty much how we got into it. I mean, it's a long story, but we found this building in probably 2017, 16, 17.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
And then we found this building here in Highwood that was old Carousel Linens. It was vacant for about 10 years. It had there was someone on the second floor, but the first floor was completely vacant. And there was a lot of hazardous issues in here because of all the crap they dumped into the sewer in the land, and it was from all the dry cleaning of the linens.
Yeah.
So we bought it, and we actually, when we did the plans, we took care of all that stuff. We have a no further remediation letter from the IEPA, cleaned that up, and then,
that was all really easy work to do,
Always fun. I actually found a great guy, so he made it a lot easier and a lot cheaper than other people would have made it. So we got lucky there.
And when, so where we're sitting right now, so you guys, we're actually in 28 Mile Distillery right now. But this part was actually originally outside, right? This was like an outdoor
so
patio
we didn't have this included in the initial building. We were going to actually put paddle courts on the rooftop of the first building.
Okay.
We had plans and everything. It was gorgeous. 3 paddle courts up there in the club.
Yeah.
The problem was we'd have to build Wrigley Field in order to support it. So the amount of steel we'd have to put in the building was just way out beyond.
Oh, no way.
Because we, old-fashioned Highwood building. Let's just say there was no footings in this building, right?
Oh my God.
So it goes down 2 feet, and there was no footing, so it couldn't support anything on top of it.
Wow.
So we did. We had to put extra steel in anyway just to support the building
and
shear walls and all this stuff. But yeah, typical old Highwood building. No permits. Just go do what you want to do and have a nice day. Like the building next door to us looks like a building, but it's literally built around a house.
No way.
Yeah, where Mojo's is.
Yeah.
It's only a house.
Oh my God. Now I'm going to have to can you tell, if now that you said that, will I notice, or I have to get on the roof?
You have to go back a little bit to see the top of the house, or in the back of the building.
And you can see it.
It's a true facade.
That's
you know
crazy.
What I mean?
Yeah.
That's a facade next door. But we decided to pick up. We got lucky because friends of ours bought this property because they bought the building on the other side on Bank Lane, and this little transient motel came along with that. And so we talked and we ended up buying the transient motel that was vacant for 35 years.
Oh my God.
No one was ever in it, right? The last time someone was in it, the woman was murdered.
Ooh, so
Yeah.
there's the story too.
Yeah.
I love
so
that.
She was murdered in the 80s.
Nobody wanted it.
Because it was rumored that she had cash in her couch, right? Because that's what people did in Highwood. They hid cash everywhere.
Oh, I wonder
except
why.
in the bank. Where it's probably a little safer.
Debatable.
Yeah, well, debatable these days.
Oh, especially. So we're 2017-ish. You get the first part of the building and 28 miles, let's call it born, right? And you started with just vodka, right?
Yes. Yeah. We my brother's big on one SKU. I mean, because every business, we were in the propane business for years, paint business. We always had one SKU, like one product we could focus on, and that's it. Right? So he was like, we're just doing vodka. That's
Keep it simple,
We'll
stupid.
Just do it. And come to realize that, maybe our market research should have been a little better, because usually we're pretty good at that, but in this case, not so much. There's so many vodkas out there, and it's hard to differentiate yourself with a vodka.
Tito's did it.
Well, Tito's did it how many years ago, right?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, over 25 years ago.
God, I feel like, I know it's such a horrible cliche in the business world, but like overnight, I feel like Tito's just was everywhere.
It wasn't, and then it was.
Right.
Right? So they were in Austin for a while, because we had a magazine down in Texas.
Yeah.
That's another business called MV Magazine.
Oh my God.
And we were, we were working on trying to get them to advertise, and they were still a small distillery at that point.
Yeah. Because so I used to live out in Austin. Yeah. And God, wait, hang on. So you had a industrial coating company. You've had a magazine. You had a propane company. You had a
several propane companies. Propane was our biggest thing.
And then, so you're not in propane anymore now, right?
No, we sold
Yeah.
it. We're not, but we are going to. We're actually starting a new business soon.
Can we talk about it?
Water.
Yeah,
we're going into the water business.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Something actually you just taught me for the first time. So correct me if I misheard you though, but so smart water is one of the few waters that uses vapor distilled.
Yeah, they're the vapor distilled water, and then they add mineral components back in to bring the pH to a certain level, because they want it right at where they want it to be, to have that texture. There's actually, I didn't realize, when people do water, all these different water companies, they specialize in their specific water for, just like in alcohol. They want their mouthfeel, the flavor, the taste, everything. You can do the same thing with water. Maybe they're not as dramatic in difference, but yes.
If there was I found out this is a real job. Basically a water sommelier. I forget, I'm horrible at saying that word, but there's somebody in water that does that. I could do that job. I could line up 10 different waters, and I could taste the difference in all 10 of them. It's insane.
And there's quite I won't drink tap water anymore.
Well, it depends from where.
No, I don't care where it's from. Even if I'm it's so hard to find great tap water.
Oh, yes, 100%. But it's like, there's some cities I won't even touch. But some cities I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Ironically, New York had great tap water.
Oh, sure it did. I bet you're just biased.
No, it's just true. It's what's in the water. it makes great bagels.
Wasn't it? Is it true that there was a place that came out here and they used to ship water in from New York to
there are some places that have known to do
for
that.
bagels. I want to say it for bagels.
But you can recreate water to do it. You don't have to bring water in. You can develop your water specifically for that.
Okay.
So Lagunitas actually did that.
Really?
When they came and they started making beer, this is what I understand. They started making beer here in Chicago, and it was much better because they were using the lake water.
Right.
And that's why so many good breweries are around here, and just because of the water out of the lake. It's the best water you can.
Well, that's why our
get.
pizza's better than New York too.
Well, that's to be determined. It depends what. It also depends what kind of mood you're in when you're eating pizza.
That's true. And for the, we digress so bad. So you do all those businesses. You had a bunch of propane. Now you're thinking of getting into water too. But we're here to talk about 28 Mile.
Yeah.
So we've got vodka going. What was some of the other early on challenges you had when you were trying to scale this up and make it, take on Tito's?
Well, price, right? Consistency, and the difference is that we were used to businesses where you have control from beginning to end. Where in the alcohol business, you don't. You have to go through distributors,
right?
And you have distributors have a lot of control over how you do. You can't sell online. You can't do. There's so many things that are blocking your way to become successful business as a small craft distillery that becomes near impossible in ways to really make money in the business. So that's why you have to have a venue and a tasting room where you can bring people in. Little did I know, if I knew that, I did not want to be a restaurant owner, and all of a sudden that's what I'm doing pretty much, making alcohol, being a restaurant owner. Last thing I would have done, to be quite honest. I mean, there's some fun times, don't get me wrong. I do have a blast sometimes, but
we've got stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I've been debating on this, talking to all the different business owners on the podcast of understanding, like, there's not too many industries that have a business model like the alcohol industry, where you're so reliant on another, like, you have no control once it gets to the distributor for the most part, and that's crazy.
Yeah, so I was listening to a podcast one time about whiskey, because my brother and I predicted that whiskey was going to go in a massive glut, because we started making whiskey. I thought a pretty damn good one. Actually, the guy who helped us, wrote books, and he's an incredible whiskey person. He helped Buffalo Trace. He helped High West, and when they first started, helped Woodford. So we had the right guy, right?
Yeah.
And we have some aging, and he's like, this is just as good as Pappy. Do I believe him? No, I think he's bullshitting me. But it's freaking good stuff. And it's aging, but we decided to stop. And the reason we decided to stop was because we realized that all of a sudden, all these private investors, private equity groups, were buying up whiskey barrels right off the tit. Yeah. So they're buying it and storing it there like as an annuity. What they didn't think about was that these whiskey has to go somewhere. And they thought it was just going to keep on growing. But the problem is there's only so many people, so much whiskey people will drink.
Right.
And only the people that are making it are bottling it. So you have this massive glut now of whiskey out there because of these private equity groups that were buying it. So you had all these distilleries adding more manufacturing processes, more distilleries were opening, the big ones we're talking.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know if you know, like MGP just like let go like half their staff, and
oh my God,
I mean, people are cutting back every which way. We predicted it a couple years ago that we felt that this would be a massive glut. So we said, we're not going to make whiskey. We're going to just stop.
Okay.
Right? We'll wait, and we'll source, because we have our butterscotch whiskey, which is
it's called Elf. It's so good.
So good.
So good.
And it's a sourced whiskey that we use out of Tennessee, and the price kept on going up and up. So we had we priced ours to where it was at the market that time, but we know next year we're going to be going after Elf at a much lower price because we have control over the market. It's dropping dramatically. And we're buying when it's going down as opposed to when it's going up.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah, exactly.
Business 101.
Or buy low and sell a lot.
God, for all of us, right?
Well, going back to that podcast, the person says, well, I have $10 million. I'm going to spend $9 million on whiskey and $1 million on marketing. And the guy turns around and he says, now, how about this? Why don't you spend $2 million on the whiskey and $8 million on marketing? And that's our industry.
God, that's unreal. I mean, you think about everything you do it's basically purely marketing, because you can't go and sell, essentially.
Correct. I mean, you can, but you're having reps and all this stuff, and to be out there and selling and constantly selling and backing it up, it's not an easy task.
But you're still at the mercy of your distributor.
Yes. Yes,
Let me tell you, I can speak for that first.
Yes, you are.
Where does the name 28 Mile come from?
So, being an alderman, we had I read this book a while ago called 28 Miles North. It's about Highwood and Whiskey Junction. That's what Highwood was known as. It was the place where everyone went to get drunk, prostitution, gambling, you
all
name it. Ever since the late 1800s, this place never went dry. So it's a really cool little book about 28 Mile North with Highwood. And we realized, okay, it's literally 28 miles from the center of Chicago. How about 28 Mile? And we all seemed to sit on it, and we liked it.
I love it. I think it's different. It sticks out. Plus, I always think about one of the other businesses actually brought this up on the podcast was alphabetical order when you look up.
Like, the old phone book.
Yeah, AA. How many AA plumbing, AA electrical, right?
AAA Cooper plumbing or something like that.
Stuff like that. So 28. You look up distillery, 28 Mile. First one. To be. And the vibe in here, if you guys have never been here, you have to come out. It is like straight out of Great Gatsby. It's got this like roaring 20s vibe. It's chill, but not like, you can come with a couple friends. Oh, so you do all this liquor, which we'll go through the whole lineup, but you also do pizza.
Yeah.
And there's like an awesome, like all the work you guys did to get into the pizza. I swear it's one of the best pizzas, like Chicago to Milwaukee.
And no one knows about it. That's
that's your fault.
Right?
That's your fault.
Listen, I know. Always like, we're going to start. Well, because we're not open not as much as we're not open 7 days a week.
Right. You're not a pizza joint. You're not. No. It's just it's supplements.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Can you give us a little bit of the backstory that all went into like fine tuning that pizza? Wasn't?
Yeah. Well, my brother and I are very picky about pizza.
No way.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Couple guys
my brother's
from New York,
even pickier, and he's like, "We need to make pizza," and I'm like, "I think I found a guy to help us." This guy Anthony out in Lyle. He's freaking incredible. He's from New York. He's from the Bronx. Big dude, hands like mitts, and I call him, and he has a deep New York accent. I loved it. So we were talking about pizza. He's like, "Yeah, come on in. We'll make a pizza. I don't know if we can make a New York, New Haven. I don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out." And my brother's like, "I got to call this guy." So my brother starts calling Anthony and like give him like 20, 30 questions. Anthony's to Greg. He says, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Dude, just come on in. If you don't like my pizza, you don't like it, fine. You could go. Yeah. But I guarantee you'll like it." He said, "Okay." Came in. We did several experiments with different flour, different ratios, and we picked one. And Greg's like, "Oh, that's great. Okay, I'll see you later." And then we learned how to make the pizza.
And you guys have like some like pretty intense pizza oven thing you got, right, to do this all?
Yeah, we want to make sure that we can, because there's the New York and New Haven. New Haven's a hotter cook. It's a coal oven, so it's like 900 and something degrees in there. And New York's typically cooked at about 525.
I didn't even know all that.
So yeah, we have our dough that's a little chewier than a typical New York. It stands out nice and straight though. So I think what's his face from
Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy would be happy when he pulled it up. I mean, I know it's not one bite; he takes like 10 bites.
Yeah, just one bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get him out here.
I know.
Trust me.
So.
As long as you get a good rating, your pizza you wouldn't be able to keep in stock. Oh my god!
I think we do. I think we would do quite well. I do.
I think you do. I think it checks a lot of his boxes.
I think
sure.
so too.
100%.
And so we learned that we wanted where our heat was, and this oven we can control the bottom and the top, so we could always have a controlled cook on our pizza.
I love that. And you guys do it in the smallest kitchen I've ever
seen. With small people, right?
Yeah.
We are in our kitchen, we are short-staffed.
That is no joke, literally.
I don't think anybody reaches over 5 feet. Like we have the big circle window, and we have to make another one down below so they could actually see something.
I think, I don't think any of them are over 5 feet.
No, none of them are over 5 feet. No.
You say that.
They're tiny. Well, it's a tiny kitchen.
Yeah.
They can't reach the third level of the pizza oven.
Oh, my God. For real?
For real.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you and me were in that kitchen, we'd be running into each other. We couldn't get shit done.
No, it'd be entertaining. Yeah. It'd be funny.
We'll do a live video of that one day. I was just trying to get it done. Not at all.
We are adding some new sandwiches.
Oh, breaking news! Oh, we're breaking.
Calling them the cup witch.
Oh, that's right. We did kind of talk about this. Yeah. What's a cup witch?
So instead of slicing the bread open and then putting everything in the side, so when you bite it, everything falls out.
Yeah.
We scoop out the middle of the bread, top down, and everything goes in top down, and it literally fits perfectly in this cup that we got. So it literally you could serve it in a cup, but it's a 7-inch sandwich.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of were you guys gonna do? Like meatball type sandwiches?
We'll do meatballs, but we're bringing these hot dogs, Feltman's hot dogs.
The famous Feltman.
Either that or Nathan's. We're not sure yet. We're gonna go back and forth, see which one we want to do.
Try them both.
But
see what happens.
we're gonna do a Detroit, a Coney Island, Detroit Coney Island dog, a New York dog, a Chicago dog, and then we'll do meatball. We'll put an Italian in there. So the nice thing is you literally stand, watch music, and eat, and don't have to worry about crap falling all over the place.
You guys
and
have
it's the perfect ratio of bread to product, which is hard to get.
God, dude, because it's always one way or the other. Either it's always way too much bread, or there's way too much stuff.
Yes,
and it's like, but I always had your point. You can ask Jacqueline. I always bitch about this. Is like you bite in the sandwich and out the back comes halfway.
Everything is
Like,
done.
what it's like, yeah, can't do it.
And it's all over you, especially meatballs, right?
Yep, especially meatballs.
You can eat meatball sandwich out. Nah.
Or the I lost my train of thought.
Italian beef.
Oh, the open, or people then try the open face, and then you like.
They need a fork and knife.
Yeah, it's like then it's not a sandwich anymore.
No, it's like you're on a Seinfeld episode.
Like, oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Snickers with a fork and knife.
We have digressed all over the place. So you started in vodka.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a whole lineup of stuff. So how did that evolve?
This is I love my brother with this one. So I
Mr.
became very
One
close. I became very close with some people in the industry when I went out to the conferences. Because I like to get drunk and have fun.
No way.
And
You?
people, we just, it's kind of how you meet people. It's just the fun way.
It's called
right?
networking.
That's why people just meet each other on social media and getting stoned at home. That's not going to work. You got to go out.
Dating advice right
Drinking
there for you.
is important for your lifestyle if you want to have fun. Anyway, and if you want to do successful in business, it's like golf, right? No, I hate golf, so I like drinking. So I'll wait for them to be done, and I'll be at the bar waiting for them. And
that's the best reason to drink at 8 in the morning is on a golf cart.
Yeah, the bloody.
Like, yeah.
But so the guy who was distilling for us, Matt.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot of the distillation at the beginning. He was trying to make gin, and let's just say it was not good. And Greg was watching, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "We're not going through this shit again. We already have shitty vodka. Fuck that. We're not making shitty gin. Eric, find someone who teaches how to make gin." And I'm like, I have the guy. He's this little nerdy guy from Scotland that I love to hang out with. He's actually getting his doctorate in juniper. He'll be the first Dr. J. Actually, he's just about to get it. He just finished his final thing.
That's incredible.
But he also was one of the head distillers at Bombay Sapphire for years.
No big deal.
He knew his stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I contacted him. He's like, "Yes, let's figure this out. Let's have a profile." So I said, I want something that is like everyone could drink.
Right.
Like literally everyone. I don't want like too much of this, too much of that. So he made a bunch of samples, and we found one that we liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he came over, and then we started making and processing, and then we came up with what our formula was, which is 7 botanicals for our gin, which I still think is one of the best products we have. And I think it blows any gin out of the water.
Oh.
Not to be...
I'm not a gin drinker, and I like your gin. Like that, I mean, to the point of like anyone can drink it.
Yeah.
Most gin, it's like almost too like is it pine cone that?
Yeah, well, that,
like,
you get
like
those. You
way
get
too
the
piney
on the old real true London dries. You get that real juniper punch in the face, but then you have these modern day ones that are like punching in the face with other stuff. Like, okay, we don't want too much juniper. Then they punch you in the face with like lavender.
Oh, lavender! I can't do lavender.
Can I please drink some soap?
Cleaning products ruined me.
Why do I want to drink soap?
Yeah, right.
Right, and then you have citrus, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to drink an orange, right? Unless I'm specifically want orange. I want something that can just middle of the road, just sits there. And we've won a lot of people that got drunk on gin as kids, in their mom's house, drinking their old crap, and then.
You're a slightly different generation, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, even in college, they found like, okay, we have this bottle of gin. They slam it, and they're drinking with tonic.
Yeah.
And that's just a deadly combination. Yeah. Right.
So now you've got vodka, gin.
Yeah.
We've got the bourbon.
Yeah, so we did the same thing with bourbon. We went out to get professionals and help.
Like, do you just know for somebody who knows like everything?
Well,
like
you find the people, right? There are people out there in every industry. It's funny how there's always someone who's really good at what they do. In every industry. But we found the person in the bourbon. I think this guy Ian Smiley, who's phenomenal, and Gerald down at Bev Test. They helped us develop a sourced one, which became our Debonair. But, we're all excited. We're like, yeah, let's do it. It's great. It's 2.5-year-old, right?
It's
not
a baby.
knowing, I started as a vodka drinker. I was a bourbon idiot, right? I didn't know. Patience, right? Patience when it comes to bourbon.
Have patience.
And no. I've gotten a lot
You've
better.
gotten better. You've gotten way better, yes.
But, I found our gin phenomenal, but the Debonair just gets better each year, I feel, because we're being more patient with it and learning things. And so people had this relationship to Debonair when it first came out as being young and green, right? Mm-hmm. But that's really with any distillery when they're first starting.
Right.
So we just came out, as you know, with our double barrel reserve.
So good. Oh my God.
I'm truly proud of that one.
Yeah.
Like that one is, and it's friggin' delicious.
I put that up against almost any bourbon. I mean, that is unreal. It's so
good. I'm having bourbon people say that, which is, I never thought I'd hear the day like, oh my God, your bourbon's incredible, out of 28 Mile Vodka Company.
I would challenge anyone to do a blind taste with it against almost anything. I mean, seriously, it is unreal. I mean, I knew you were going to make something good, but like, it blew any expectation I even had. I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's just realizing we're just sitting on the right stuff and getting the right blends, because blending is important, right? So you think about blending, think about all the distilleries that people thought they made their own stuff, but they were sourced. Angel's Envy, Whistle Pig, Bullet Rye, right? Yep. So many things. They start off with sourced product, and these blenders are incredible. Like blending is just as an art form as distilling. So you've done, obviously we've heard quite a bit about you sourcing different stuff out. What do you make here on site? Make the vodka, the gin.
Okay.
And we make bourbon, but we stopped making bourbon. So
you did make bourbon.
We did, but we felt, as I said, with the glut, the amount that we can make in the facility that we have, the pricing doesn't justify us making it when now the bourbons and whiskeys, the bourbon, the ryes, and all this stuff are coming down in price, right? That we could actually purchase it and blend properly. And I think there's some incredible product out there. So why not take some incredible product and make it better?
Yep. Well, and now you walk in any liquor store, the bourbon aisles, whiskey aisle is the biggest one. It's unreal.
It's ridiculous.
It's unreal. Kind of an industry question for you. How do you think the movement of NA has impacted you guys, and are you guys adjusting at all?
I don't think it's had an impact on us per se, because we're too small, right?
Okay.
So we're starting from nothing, right? So it really affects those groups that have been out there for a long period of time. For us, it's like, okay, well, I mean, we're doing okay anyway. It's not great, but it is what it is. I mean, I think NA, I don't know if it's a long-term phase and how long it's going to go. You're going to have some, right? But I mean, honestly, I know we make some great mocktails, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're spending a lot of money to come out and drinking juice, right? Which I don't mind. It's great. And actually, the funny thing is they ask why the price is high for mocktails, because everything's freshly squeezed.
Yeah.
Right? And you're putting more juice in there. Yep. And that's not cheap, that stuff.
We're not growing the oranges in the backyard,
we're not. But yeah, it's definitely, I think it's had an impact upon the industry. I think they've said it's stopped the growth. You have some industry that's going down. Bourbon's gone down a lot. Tequila's gone up still. But I think tequila only has so much longer to grow.
Yeah.
I think that's hitting a peak too. There's too many brands out there now with tequila.
Well, and I think tequila is just not a widely acceptable liquor. I think a lot of us were ruined in college off tequila.
That's true.
I'm one of them. I'll run that.
I had the old Jose Cuervo, and then I got drunk and threw up my brother's couch.
God, if I smell Cuervo, I'm ruined.
That was
not
good.
God. I'm going to kind of double down here a little bit on your actual space, because I think we're not doing it justice. So, obviously, you want people to come here to try the alcohol, maybe have a pizza, definitely have a pizza with it, because it's absolutely incredible. But this is a true event space. Like, you guys have constantly things going on, whether that's private events, whether that's, you've got bands coming in here every weekend. So you've got kind of give you guys kind of a little lay of the land. So when you come in, there's kind of two rooms. So you got to your left, you got kind of more of your tap room, right? You guys
tasting room.
You come in, it's more cocktail lounge. I would say that's probably if you're kind of more want to experiment into the different things that they can create. Go in there, chill, have your pizza. Now to the other side, how many people you fit in here comfortably?
A couple hundred
people. It's a good size, guys.
I thought it was a huge when I was doing it, then realized that, there's venues like Austin's that has like 600 people. I'm like, why?
Well, if you pulled out all the chairs and the bar and the tables and
Yeah, I wish it was a little bigger, but it's big. It's a big room.
I mean, we all say that.
Yeah.
But,
Right, no. I say it's just right. Perfect.
But you guys, I mean, the amount of different, like, I mean, you don't hold to one vibe in here. Everything from country, alternative, pop, everything. It's been it all. Jazz. I mean, I've seen it all here.
Yeah, there's a lot of variations of music in here. My brother wants to lean full country, but the problem is, which I love country, and I've been going to Nashville forever.
Yeah.
Since Nashville Bridge, when they had the shipyard there, right?
Not to age yourself at all.
And then where there's no way to cross the river like that, and there was no stadium there. It was as you just sell for ships. Anyway, we went down there, and that's how we started Nashwood, because we wanted to turn Highwood into Nashville. I love country music, and we have singer-songwriters up here all the time. But unlike out west, like the Joliet area or out in Mundelein and further out that way, the North Shore seems to have less of a tendency towards that genre. It's like they want to listen to old people.
The 70s, 80s rock.
Yeah, I'm like, can I please have another freaking cover band come in here and play the same shit over and over again?
Yeah.
And it pisses me off, because honestly, I wouldn't want to be like CBGBs, where we just have original music in here and that's it.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
But it's not. It doesn't make economic sense.
Yeah. I mean, from a business standpoint for the area, I get that. But to tell you guys, so Nashwood is probably one of the coolest events Highwood puts on. Is there going to be a Nashwood this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not running anymore. Last year was my last year.
So Eric, you also ran Celebrate Highwood, part of the Alderman. You stepped back from both?
Both, yes.
Oh my God! So you got more time on your hands right now.
Well,
than
I'm still an alderman until the end of April.
To the end of April, so you got a little bit more time. But so Nashwood is my personal favorite event.
Mine too.
They basically a lot of the different bars and restaurants. If you guys don't know Highwood, it is a mecca of amazing restaurants and bars up and down Green Bay Road and Sheridan. Thank you. And so during Nashwood over Labor Day weekend? Yeah, Labor Day weekend. 50 different bands, if not more?
Yeah, we bring everybody in from outside the area. So you have a lot of bands coming directly from Nashville and artists from Nashville, but also from around the country, from Arizona, Pennsylvania.
That's incredible.
You name it, they're coming. It's a great thing to see, and you really feel like you're somewhere like Nashville, because you're able to go from place to place to place to see music. But of course, we feel our place is the best, because we're like a honky tonk. So we have a band down in the Bourbon Lounge in here, which is an enclosed space with that the whole front opens up to the outside, and then we have a rooftop. We put a band on the rooftop the same time as we put a band down here, and then we have a musician in the cocktail bar, and you don't hear one or the other.
Nope, you guys don't. It's incredible. We didn't even get a chance. We hadn't talked about the rooftop yet. So the second edition that you literally where
the woman was murdered.
Yes, where the woman was murdered. The rooftop's massive. Beautiful view overlooking. You can actually see the lake from up there.
A touch. If you
look at one angle, you can technically
get
see
a ladder.
Lake views, quote unquote, right? But it is nice and close space up there. It's the sun, everything, and then you guys put bands up there. I can't believe how you do not hear the band up there down here, or vice versa. It is two completely different venues. It feels like you can jump up between the different bands, especially during Nashwood when you've got all day down here, all day up there, different bands going.
See, and that's what my brother wants. I'm like, well, he's like, why can't we do this every weekend? I'm like, I want to do this every weekend, but it will kill me. Yeah. But I don't think we can get it done every weekend. It's just something special that's once a year.
Well, and I think that specialness to it allows for that. It's especially pulling out talent nobody's seen around here. You keep using the saying Seventh Heaven cover band and all them.
That's my thing. I wish Highwood would let's just stick to that as a group. We're all going to do this every weekend. Every weekend's going to be Nashwood, and then it would work. But the problem was, we pay, like when we started, like I provided money. I paid for most of the bands that came in the first 2 years. Right, to get started.
28 Mile or
no,
Highwood?
Me, personally.
Oh, shit. Right,
28 Mile didn't exist, right?
So, okay,
yeah. People are like, oh, yeah, he did this for his business. I'm like, dude, my business wasn't around then.
Yeah.
I started my business later. So one has nothing to do with the other. I just took advantage of the of the programming.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you built it up, you know. Yeah.
But the other businesses, there's a lot of businesses that don't support. They can't afford the music every weekend unless they realize that if you did it every weekend with everybody else and created that vibe, we would be a much more successful community on music. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and so you're so you want to be a Great Gatsby cocktail lounge with country music. I love it.
You know what?
I love it.
Here's the thing. The funny thing is that you can walk in and feel like, oh my God, it's so fancy.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you're walking with flip flops, maybe no shirt, no shoes. You can still get service here, right? Because and the funny thing, we may look expensive, but we're not.
Yeah.
Like people will say, "Oh, we're going to go there on a special occasion because you're pricier." I'm like,
not at all.
We're not pricier. Our drinks are less expensive than restaurants
because you make them all.
Our pizza's less. Our pizza's there, right? Our pizza's just
right about.
You can have a meal here for less than some people spend on their own dish going out to a restaurant.
100%. It's completely misguided by the I think it's a part of the vibe. You know, people see photos of the chandeliers and all that, but no, I mean, you guys got to come out and try it.
You could feel sexy and not have to pay sexy.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
And that's what we want here. We want you to feel sexy.
Yeah, and you could roll in your Bulls jersey and
I still feel sexy. But I think the only thing I don't like is when people come here and just drink water. I'm just saying that until we start our water business, then we'll make you pay for it, right? But it's like you're here to support us, right? So you're coming here. We do want you to spend some money.
Buy a pizza.
Yeah, buy a pizza or buy a cocktail or a mocktail or a beer.
I also got to call out, guys, like almost 99.9% of the time, you guys don't have a cover for the band.
Yes. So we are for like the bigger bands. Now we're starting to do covers because we want to bring in some
bigger known stuff.
But you're talking like $10, $12. I mean, so you're not talking
crazy.
Much. And you could still come into the place because you can still come to the cocktail bar, right? And you don't have to pay a cover for that.
Yeah.
So it's specifically for the music on those specific nights, and it's not every time, right? So, but I would recommend still buying the ticket coming in. It's worth it.
Oh, it always is.
Yeah,
it always is. So you've been doing let's say we'll say 28 Mile. What we're going on, 7 years?
Well,
6 years?
Really opening. We opened up in 2019, 7 months before COVID.
No big deal.
Yeah.
What's something you would have done differently?
What wouldn't I have done differently? There's so many things I would have done differently.
What's just pick one.
Well, first of all, a bigger kitchen.
Yeah.
Right, to allow us to do more. Second of all, not open a kitchen and not open a distillery. No, just kidding. It's a crazy business. It's like a yo-yo. You have days that I love this thing, and there's days I just want to can I just lock the doors, tell everyone to go away, because that's just human. But that's just life, You want those days always to be up, but it's not always that way. It's just it's business.
Oh, it is.
So
and a lot of lessons we have to learn the hard way.
But I think I would have been a lot more patient. I would have been more patient with the alcohol. I think I would have done things differently. In many aspects, how we marketed, how we went out to market. I think we went out with product that wasn't ready to go out multiple times, and I think that did some damage, initially. And I think we're recovering from that because I do think that the product we have out there now is superior to many products.
I 100% agree. I mean, we go out of our way to make sure we carry your product. You know that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's why, I'm not an alcoholic in any way, shape, or form. I swear. I just like to have a good time.
We just like alcohol.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a ginaholic now.
Oh, yes. You are fully switched over. You are
Yes.
gin. You are always gin now.
Yeah.
I'm a bourbon whiskey guy. It's hard for me. It's going to be hard for me to get off of that.
You don't have to get off of it.
Well, especially now with your new double barrel, that's a game changer.
I think, and we're going to keep that. We're going to be very patient with that one, and we're only going to have slow releases, so it becomes something that people want and they wait for.
Yeah.
So just like the breweries used to do with those certain runs.
Well, and I mean, it takes so long to make. I mean, it basically has to. Again, it goes down to space and time, right? Because The most recent stuff was 7 years, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 7 years for this. And they're like, well, how'd you do it? Well, we started in 2017, but we didn't open until 2019. And some of the product we sourced obviously was, a little older, not just right off the not off the tip. We purchased some stuff that was about 2 years old.
Okay.
And that's when we started making the Debonair with 2-year-old product and realized we thought it was great and realized it.
Not bad.
No,
It wasn't bad at all.
It
But it was
actually,
definitely a
it
young
did quite
whiskey,
well in
though,
some testing and award places. But we realized that a minimum, I think, for the Debonair has to be a minimum of 4 years before it hits the bottle now.
Okay.
And so we feel that it has a lot more character to it and plays well with a lot more stuff than it used to. And now the double barrel, which especially at 122.5.
It doesn't drink like that, guys. It's a 122.5.
It's like a radio station.
But I would tell you it drinks like a 90. It is so smooth, and it's got just come and try it. I'm not going to even try to explain it. That is one thing I'm not good at, is the differentiating everything, but I can just tell you it is absolutely delicious. Let's think. So you've done a lot of businesses with your brother. What would you say the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Listen to people that are, you have to listen to people. You're going to make mistakes along the way.
Yeah, of course.
And you have to make mistakes. And the best thing to do is if you don't go for it and make your mistakes, you'll never be successful. But really, what I found, a lot of family businesses don't do well because they battle, right? I battle with my brother literally every day, but in a good way, right? You have to know when to stop arguing, right? You have to know when to give in. And that's the rule. In order to have a partnership, someone always has to give in. Otherwise, it won't work. So I know when my brother's right, or he knows when I'm right, although he won't admit it. But it's important that when you're in a partnership, to listen to each other and support each other, and that's the only way it's going to work. But it's a hard pull. Business is hard, but once you get going, it can be very rewarding. I don't know if that made any sense, but
it did. I think we get torn. I mean, especially the hardcore entrepreneurs that are listening in, that we, have this mindset. We want to do it. We want to do it our way. This is how I think I want to do it. But sometimes we're not the smartest person in the room. Sometimes we don't know. And that's okay too. But we have to be able to take that advice.
Yeah. And don't get angry when someone tells you something sucks.
Yeah.
Because it might just suck.
And that's okay.
And it might be your friends that are telling you it's great and lying to you.
Right.
Right? Like they did with my vodka. Like, what the fuck? You couldn't tell me the truth? I mean, I even knew like something was off there. You're like, oh, it's great. Like, So, yeah, it's like, don't always trust your friends when it comes to that, because they want to support you, and you'll get angry at them if they tell you the truth. But the truth hurts, but it works because it just makes you a better business person and better at what you do.
Because at the end of the day, it's about business. It's fuck. If someone was looking to start their own business, doesn't have to be necessary in this industry, what piece of advice would you give them?
Do your research. Do your research. One thing. So the number one thing is exit strategy, right?
No one's brought this up yet. Yes, double click it, please.
When you get in, you have to know how to get out.
Yeah.
Right? It may be a dream of yours, but if no one else is going to buy your dream, you're just buying a job.
Whoa.
Right?
Wait, can you say that again?
If no one else wants to buy your dream, you're just buying a job.
God, that's such a good line.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm going to make that onto a shirt. Like that is that's so heavy. Wow.
You think about it, right? So every business that we've done, so we've been in the paint business, the propane business, and even going to the water business, right? The water business is consolidated dramatically. 80% is controlled by one company now.
No shit.
Yeah, and the same guy who started Blue Rhino.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right? Billy Primo. The guy's a freaking genius. So we went and we found out what we didn't like of what he was doing, and we altered it, and we became like the third largest barbecue cylinder business in the country. We controlled from Green Bay, Wisconsin down to Brownsville, Texas. We did everywhere for barbecue. It was a nutty business. I never thought I'd be in that. But that being said, it's a roll-up. So there's always companies that want to acquire you.
Yep.
Right? So like opening up a restaurant, people don't really want to acquire restaurants. No one wants it. That's your name. That's your life. That's your whole thing. Like, so yeah, it's great here, but I need my brand to grow for someone to want to buy out my brand, right? So I want to, George Clooney, $1 billion here. Come on.
Yeah. You'll take that check. Yeah.
Right? Actually, I'll be very happy to be Ryan Reynolds. I mean,
That's fine.
I'm a bald version of Ryan Reynolds. Come on.
The Temu version of Ryan Reynolds.
The Temu. I like that. Yeah, Temu. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But yeah, it's you have to look. You don't want to get in unless you can get out.
Yeah, okay.
And that's very important in business, and you want to be able to make a living at the same time too. And the other rule is you want to be making money while you're sleeping.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I like that.
If you have to work every single minute of the day and the only way you're making money is while you're working, then you might as well just go get a job and not have to worry about it, right? If you want to make money while you're not working and doing things and things are moving, that's a true entrepreneurial spirit.
Fuck. That's two good lines right there. Not even lines, just two good thoughts. I mean, those are deep. I think that's a lot of people don't think about either of those. The other one, actually, one of the other previous podcasts I just did, boring business is good business, which is contrary to 28 Mile, but it's very relatable to your other businesses.
Oh, yeah. Propane, paint. I watch paint dry.
Coding.
I literally watch paint dry for a living.
And now water. Water.
But everything we did was explosive, paint, propane. Because we had a flammable product also. And it was water-based. It was a moisture-cured urethane.
So like the logistics of that, because I know moving that and shipping flammable stuff.
Yeah, it was very good at shipping. Well, propane was much worse.
Well, it freaks me out. You drive by some of these like residential areas, and then like across the street's like a propane yard.
Those are safe.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's just I got Hollywood in my head.
It's the barbecue cylinder businesses that were more dangerous.
Really?
So that we got yes. Actually, I think it was several years after we sold our plant up in Gourmet.
Okay.
They had a fire, and it was literally like popcorn going off because the tanks blevy after the heat, and they literally shoot off in the air like popcorn.
Oh my god.
And no, but it could be scary. I always worried about trucks crashing, and because we had trucks all over the country.
Yeah.
It was nerve-wracking. I got called from fire marshal all the time. Come pick up this tank. I'm like 3 states away. Well, we'll still be waiting for you to pick it up. I'm like, okay, well, good luck with that one.
I'll see you in 2 days when I get there.
There's so many. Yeah, this business is fun, but it's also not fun because distilling is 90% janitorial. Always cleaning.
Cleaning, yeah. God, that's so true because the sterile, because the slight. I remember you telling me you guys lost a batch of something because the slightest little.
For the fermentation.
You
if you don't, you have to steam out tanks and everything, and it's just keeping things clean. And I think my favorite thing to distill is gin, because as the gin moves, as the temperature goes up, the different botanicals come off. And you can taste the different botanicals as they're coming off. And then it's incredible how it all comes into one beautiful,
delicious,
creation. Yeah, just
liquid magic. Yep. Does 28 Mile have any big plans for 2025?
Well, we're going to go out with our gin. We're going to try to do the Tito's method with the gin. So we literally are just going into liter bottles and dropping the price to beat out all the competitors. And we're American made. Right, so all those gins that people are drinking are not American made. You got Hendrick's, Bombay Sapphire, Tanqueray, Beefeaters.
None of those are
Gordon's and New Amsterdam and Seagram's, all of them. Right, they're all those. That's the lower end, but we're going to undercut the lower end. I think the only one, you go back to Ryan Reynolds, the damn asshole, fucking successful at everything.
But that stuff sucks.
Aviation is not.
So bad.
I find that a very polarizing gin.
It is so. It's well, you either love it or you hate it.
Well, people bought it because of Ryan Reynolds.
Of course, just like they buy anything else he puts his name on.
It's incredible.
Get him to sponsor your shit. It'll be flying off the shelves too.
Except that stupid Spirited movie he did with Will Ferrell on Apple. That was horrible.
Oh yeah,
that was it. It's good to see him have one failure, right? But yeah, so it's going to liter bottles and trying to really push the gin, and then the double barrel is a big thing for us that we want to start. slow rolling and then really becoming a popular item that people have to come here to get. Not through a distributor, not anywhere else.
Come right here.
Come here. And my goal is to get the state to allow online shipping, online purchasing, so we could actually ship it. Because then that would take us to another level.
Is that even in conversation at all?
Pritzker was in my building, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and he had it on the way out. He's like, hey, can I get a bottle online? I said, well, yeah, it'd be great if it was legal in the state of Illinois. He goes, well, I think we'll have to change that. I'm like, yes, you will.
Don't tease me with that. Don't do it.
Yeah. I'm like, damn.
We haven't even mentioned it at all. Sweet tea whiskey. Is that what's
so
on
the sweet tea
for
whiskey? I'm going to have to make some adjustments to.
Okay.
It's an incredible product if it's poured over ice, right?
Yep.
So we have to go back, and my brother wanted he wanted to look like Twisted Tea up on the thing, the colors.
It looks exactly the same.
It looks dated to me.
Okay.
Right? So I would like to redo. Of course, we have like a few thousand cans upstairs
of it. Yeah.
And we have a few thousand things that we said, oh fuck it, it's not going to work, and now we don't know what to do. So we get trigger. My brother is not so
patient.
Yeah, he's like done with that. But I feel we're going to try to bring the sweet tea down a little bit into 5%, so it has a little more of like it's been over ice already. So you could drink right out of the can because people won't put it over ice if it's in a can.
Wasn't there? I was talking to a couple establishments where their liquor license for the RTDs, and those are the ready to drink. So things like the mixed cocktails, if they're over 6% that they can't carry them if they're a wine and beer liquor license. They can't carry alcohol. No, it's anything alcohol. Like fermented, like they can carry like White Claw, but they can't do High Noon, right? So there's so many dumb laws out there. Like TTB says you can keg White Claw, you can keg wine, you can keg beer at 18% or 20%. Yeah.
But if I have an alcohol that's 5%, I can't keg it.
That's crazy.
I mean, those are the laws we're dealing with. It's prohibition hangover.
Was
that what happens when we go to the bathroom when we get old? We just lose our train of thought.
Man, imagine we were drinking and doing this too. Oh boy! So thank God we actually did this in the morning.
In the morning, yeah, we would have gone off way into the deep end.
So sweet tea is under construction. Let's put it that way. Reconstruction.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we were able to put it out of a keg, that was the goal initially, for me. If it was a keg product, I think it would have been extremely successful.
Yeah.
But because of laws. we had to put cans. And the problem with cans these days, there's so many canned products out there these days.
Yeah.
People don't have the fridge space.
Or you go to a bar, it's tucked down, and I don't even know what's in the fridge.
Yeah.
Some bars the way they have it set up, and then some bars have a list, some don't. So, or you just start spitting out ones oh, do you have a White Claw, High Noon, whatever, and it's like, fine, whatever.
And once again, it's all based on marketing and where you're at.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, you were able to keg. You get a nice, beautiful handle. I see it back there.
Yep. Oh, let me try that. It's a little sample, done.
Yeah. Versus, you have to buy the whole can because whatever. But
yeah, and it doesn't. Because even me, after a can, I couldn't drink it, especially as it warmed up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The flavor changed. Some of the botanicals in there would come out in a different way, than it was when it's nice and cold.
Yeah.
So those are the adjustments that need to be made. I'm just going to focus more on the gin right now and the double bourbon because I think that market and the RTD market is there's too much out there. And more shit keeps on coming every day.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
literally just down at the distributor, and Bell's is coming out with some product. It's like, oh, it's light and refreshing. I'm like, okay, it's like everything else. Like, oh, we're making something lemonade and then mango something. I'm like, it sounds like every other fucking product out there.
Yeah.
There's nothing excites me anymore out there in that market.
Well, and I feel beer has even like gotten way worse because it's like, I mean, every flavor has been made, and now you hear them like, Oreo, pumpkin, lemonade. They're just shoving whatever they can into there.
Everyone's trying to be the new one to the new phase, right?
Yeah,
Now that's with the NA, and then you have the ones with the pot, right?
All the THC stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and
or CBD, depending.
And that's one that. It's the well, they use the CBD, the hemp, to pull it down to make 5 milligrams, concentrate it, to make 5 milligrams of THC in a drink, which we have them here. We brought them in. Yeah, we brought in the THC drink because it's legal.
Yeah,
federally because it's through hemp, but that loophole's gonna be closed soon. So,
and you guys also. And then those for the NAs, you guys do carry an NA.
Yes, we carry NA. We carry. I'd say probably the best one out there is Athletic.
Oh, no question.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna even try to guess how many different NAs I tried, and so many of them are disgusting. Athletic has got it figured out. I don't know who did it, what they did over there, but whatever. If you're into IPAs, light beer, hazies, they got a great.
No, it's
NA.
like Sip Smith with gin, and what's the one for tequila?
Seeds.
Seeds?
Is it seed or seeds?
I think it's rep. I forget the name, but either way, to try to. Mike's like, oh, we need to make a NA. I'm like, no.
Just bring
I'm like, what am I going to do?
The market's not big enough.
No,
it's not who you guys are. Yeah, but it's nice to have that compliment. Like if I come with a group of friends, there's options.
Which we have it.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, cool. Well, Eric, I know I've got a whole hour of your time today. But was there anything we maybe didn't talk about, anything we didn't plug that you want to make sure our listeners know about 28 Mile today?
Yeah, I mean, go onto our website, 28miledistilling.com. You'll see some of the events that we're putting on. We're going to be redoing our website, but come see some of the music or events. Like we have Disco Night coming up in 2 weeks. That's a fun one with a Disco Night with a live band.
No, that's really cool.
And we do some really good all-inclusive. So that night you have a choice to just buy a ticket for $10 or pay $53 and get all you could drink and all you could eat.
Really?
For the whole night, and you get in an hour earlier before everybody else does. And
I didn't even see
and you
that.
get all you could eat our pizza.
Dude, their pizza, guys, $53 I could eat $53 worth of pizza
easily.
Easily. My God.
So literally, you could be drinking Black Manhattans all night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I know that's your favorite.
Yeah.
Although you will be trying the Black Negroni.
Well, Jacqueline, I'll try it, but that's definitely a Jacqueline drink. She loves Negronis.
So we feel that you get your money's worth when you come for something like that.
You have to. I mean, so what's a normal cocktail price here? Roughly?
It ranges between 8 and 15.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you guys, really low cost, but for $53 to get a band, pizza, and open bar, basically, no question.
No shots though.
No shots.
We want you to appreciate the alcohol.
Yeah, it's about
stop doing shots.
Yeah, that's not what this is. We're here. It's about the craft. It's about the art. And then Instagram. I think that's a great way to follow you guys too, to stay up to date on any. Last minute
Instagram
stuff, what's
and
coming
Facebook
up.
For us old people. We don't really do TikTok. We try and we but we don't know. We don't know if TikTok's be around unless.
Oh, who knows? Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, definitely Instagram and Facebook and the website.
And I want to give one more plug for this place is incredible for private events, guys. Like Mike and Eric, they've worked it out where they can pretty much accommodate almost every. I've seen weddings here, bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs. Birthday parties,
reunions,
corporate dinners, charity
We
fundraisers.
had AbbVie here.
Yeah,
we've had
the school district board. Yeah.
It's something that's different. If you want to sit down, don't come here. Yeah. If you want a fun party atmosphere for your private event or your corporate event where you can still do the presentations. We have all that stuff. You do presentations, but you want your people to have fun. actually, and interact, then this is the place for you.
Oh, totally. Jacqueline's company did their holiday dinner here last year, and it was so much fun. We brought in dueling pianos.
Yeah.
It was such a good time. But well, Eric, again, I appreciate your time. I know how hard,
Right back at you, Eric.
valuable. You guys, 28 Mile, as per usual. I will plug everything in the post. But check them out. It's worth the drive. Highwood, Illinois, smack dab in between Lake Forest and Highland Park. And the food scene down here, if you guys haven't been out here, is incredible. Highwood Fest, all of it. Anyway, Eric, thank you again.
Thank you, Eric.
And until next time, goodbye for now.
Another amazing story in the books. Now, go do something awesome. Support a local business. Start that dream project. Or at least post about this episode and tag Small Business Big Dreams. And until next time, goodbye for now. Oh, you're still here. Hoping for a bonus scene, huh? Some kind of secret extra content? All right, here it is. Support a small business, the end. What, you want more? A blooper reel? Behind the scenes footage of me sitting here in my pajamas, literally recording this outro? Nope, that's it. Go on, get out of here. Okay, fine. One last thing. Dream big, shop small, and for the love of all things good, put down your phone and go touch some grass. All right, now I'm leaving for real. I got stuff to do and sweet tea to drink.